The world watched with bated breath on May 8, 2025 as white smoke billowed from the chimney atop the Sistine Chapel. A new pope had been chosen. The suspense was palpable. The College of Cardinals had elected Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, formerly the Archbishop of Chicago, to the seat of St. Peter. He would become Pope Leo XIV. His election sent shockwaves through the Catholic world. For the first time in history, an American would lead the Church. Pope Leo XIV brought with him a reputation as a pastor who understood the complexities of American life. He was known for his compassion for the poor and marginalized. He was also known for his willingness to speak truth to power, even if it meant challenging the status quo. Born and raised in the American heartland, Pope Leo XIV possessed an intimate understanding of the hopes and anxieties of ordinary Americans. This was reflected in his pastoral style, one that emphasized dialogue and engagement over pronouncements from on high. He was a man of the people, and this resonated deeply with Catholics and non-Catholics alike. Yet, behind the warm smile and gentle demeanor lay a steely resolve. Pope Leo XIV was a man on a mission. He was determined to use his papacy to bring the message of the gospel to a world in desperate need of hope and healing. Little did anyone know that his papacy would be tested far sooner than anyone expected. Pope Leo XIV was a child of the digital age. He understood the power of social media to connect with people in a way that previous popes never could. His Twitter account, active since 2011, was a blend of spiritual reflections, news articles, and papal pronouncements. It offered a unique window into the mind of the new pontiff. What set Pope Leo XIV apart was his willingness to engage with contemporary political issues, particularly those related to immigration. He saw in the plight of immigrants a reflection of the gospel story itself, the Holy Family's flight into Egypt to escape Herod's persecution. He shared articles and statements that challenged the Trump administration's immigration policies. He questioned the morality of building walls and separating families. In February 2025, he shared an article criticizing then-Senator J.D. Vance's interpretation of Christian doctrine regarding immigration. Vance, a recent Catholic convert and rising star in the Republican Party, had argued that limiting immigration was necessary to preserve America's Christian heritage. Pope Leo XIV's tweet, a simple sharing of the article with the comment, "We must always remember that Jesus himself was a refugee," sparked controversy and ignited the ire of many American conservatives. The Pope's social media activity, while hailed by progressives and human rights advocates, did not sit well with everyone. His criticisms of Trump-era policies, particularly those related to immigration, were seen by some as an unwelcome intrusion of politics into the realm of faith. This was especially true among those who embraced the ideology of the Make America Great Again, or MAGA, movement. The backlash from the MAGA movement was swift and fierce. Prominent figures like Laura Loomer and Charlie Kirk took to social media to denounce the Pope. They accused him of being a puppet of the globalist elite and of promoting a borderless world. They called on American Catholics to reject his teachings and to embrace the MAGA agenda as the true expression of American patriotism. Conservative Catholic media outlets joined the chorus of condemnation. They published articles and editorials accusing the Pope of being out of touch with the concerns of ordinary Americans. They argued that his focus on immigration was misplaced, and that he should be more concerned with issues like abortion and religious liberty. The tension between the Pope and the MAGA movement came to a head in April 2025, when Pope Leo XIV questioned the compassion of then-President Donald Trump and El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele regarding the plight of Central American migrants. He retweeted an article about the deportation of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a young Salvadoran man who had fled to the United States seeking asylum. Garcia was deported back to El Salvador, where he was subsequently murdered by gang members. "Where is the Christian charity in this?" the Pope tweeted. "Where is the love for our neighbor?" The tweet ignited a firestorm of controversy. Trump, never one to shy away from a fight, responded with a tweet of his own. "The Pope should focus on running the church, not dictating American policy," he wrote. "We have a right to protect our borders." The election of Pope Leo XIV brought to the fore a simmering conflict within American Catholicism. On one side were those who embraced the MAGA movement and its nationalist, populist message. They saw in Trump a champion for their values and a defender of their way of life. On the other side were those who were troubled by Trump's rhetoric and policies, which they believed were often at odds with the teachings of the Church. They looked to the Pope for moral leadership and guidance in navigating these turbulent times. The clash between these two visions of American Catholicism was, at its core, a theological conflict. The MAGA movement, with its emphasis on American exceptionalism, individualism, and the pursuit of material prosperity, stood in stark contrast to the Catholic Church's teachings on the common good, solidarity with the poor and marginalized, and the importance of humility and compassion. The future of American Catholicism under Pope Leo XIV remained uncertain. Would he be able to bridge the divide between these two competing visions of the faith? Or would his papacy further exacerbate the tensions within the Church and American society as a whole? Only time would tell. But one thing was clear: Pope Leo XIV's papacy promised to be anything but ordinary.